I just got more Continental cards. What am I going to do with these things? Hey guys, Ken here. Welcome back to the channel. Well, I just purchased another small lot of about 40 cards, and I got them in the mail the other day, and 16 of them were Continentals. And unfortunately, the seller didn't mention anything, about that in his listing at all. He just said a mixed lot of cards, and I guess, maybe he doesn't sell cards that often. I don't know, but he didn't designate that some of them were standard size and some of them were Continentals. And I just did a video about how I was going to cut back on Continentals. And here I am getting more Continental cards. And I'm like, what am I going to do with these things now? Well, I sat and thought about it for a while. And I really don't want to not be able to sell Continentals. I know some people shy away from it. I shied away from it, when I first got into it, because I thought it was all based on, foreign country type cards. But as I look at the ones that I have, some of them are very beautiful. And, as I spoke about in the last video, if you saw that, I'm a professional photographer by trade. And, the larger the image, the more impact it has on the viewer. So I wanted to keep them, but I had to figure out a way that I could sell more because, as I expressed in my other video, I hadn't sold a whole lot. I went through my sales, and I think I came up with 2 sales. And I said, there's got to be a way to sell more Continental cards because these are just too beautiful just to, sell off as a lot or just get rid of. So I sat down, and what I did was I went on eBay. And I started looking at what other sellers were selling their Continentals at, the pricing structure, as well as, how they were phrasing their verbiage in their titles and in their descriptions. And I noticed something interesting, and this was a pattern with a lot of sellers. Not all, but a lot. They were not using the word Continental in their title or in their description. Now, I did have someone in a past video mention that what they do is they just don't mention the word Continental and they just write it up as postcard. And they said that they got, a lot more views that way. And I advised them, according to my experience, I said, well, that's good that you're getting more views, but be careful with that because if you're not careful, you don't want to misrepresent yourself or your product because someone could call you out and say, hey, you didn't mention anything about this being a larger card. And because you just said it was a postcard, and I thought they were all the same. If they don't know there's different sizes, and if they're a collector of standard size postcards and they have albums at home with these sleeves that are 3.5 by 5.5 inches, and they get a 4x6 card, they're gonna not be too happy because they can't fit it in the sleeve, and they'd have to put it in the back or something, and then that could be a refund looking for a place to happen. So that's why I cautioned him about doing it that way. But then I thought there's got to be a way that you can sell these on eBay and you don't misrepresent yourself or your product. And like I said in the previous video, I noticed a pattern, and what they were doing, they were just not mentioning the word Continental. But what they were doing in place of the word Continental, and this is key, they were simply using the verbiage 4x6. That's simply the number 4, an X, and a 6. 4x6. Like in photography, photographers often refer to print sizes by their inch sizes, like 8x10s, 5x7s, 11x14s, 16x20s. Well, it's the same thing with postcards. You've got 3.5 by 5.5s, and then you got 4x6s. And one thing I realized is that a lot of Continental cards are sometimes referred to as 4x6s. So why not use that in my title and my description? So that's what I did. I went into all my Continentals, and some of these I was able to do in bulk, and some of them I had to do individually. And it took a while, but I had to get it done. And I went into each title and I I took out the word Continental and I just put in the word, the verbiage 4x6. And what that did, because the word Continental, I think, is like, I don't know, 12 or 13 characters, and the 4x6 is only 3 characters, that gave me some more space so I could put in other keywords, other relevant keywords in my title, in my descriptions, to where it will drive more traffic to my listings and hopefully make more sales. So that was a good thing. So that's what I did. I went into the bulk editor, and like I said, some of them I was able to do that, and some of them, it didn't give me that option. I had to do them one at a time. But fortunately, I only have about 163 Continentals on my eBay store at present. So it didn't take too long, but it did take a little bit of time because I had to check everything and make sure everything was, copacetic, and, it was all laid out and written the same way, and I didn't miss anything, and there weren't any weird spaces or anything. Because sometimes when you use the bulk editor, sometimes it'll leave a space. I was able to do that, and now hopefully I'll be able to sell more Continentals, because here's some of the ones that I got from that gentleman's lot here that I purchased. This is a Cape Cod right here. Very nice one. And this is Block Island. I think this is in Maine. I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure exactly where it is, but it says Block Island. It's very nice. Okay, and then we've got this one. I'm not sure how I would title this one. It's kind of like a painting. This is very beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that nice? The nice vignette around it. And here's a couple with a Western motif. These are very nice, just like that. Here's another one. I love this one. Looks just like a painting. Look at that. See if I can get a better angle so we don't get that light reflecting in it. Yeah, but these are just too beautiful of a card to just throw out or just, sell in a lot somewhere just to get rid of them. Because I don't know, there's something I think about the word Continental that maybe scares people, or maybe they don't know what it is. I know that not everybody's up on the different sizes and everything, but I just wanted to figure out a way that I could actually, do this and still make it work and make more sales on my Continental end. And that's what I came up with, and I think it's going to work because, like I said, I looked at what other eBay sellers were doing that were selling postcards, and every one of the ones that sold, I checked the comps, and every one of the ones that sold didn't have the word Continental in it. They had 4x6. So if you're experiencing that kind of a problem, maybe this will work for you. Now, depending on how many Continentals you have in your eBay store, I had 163, so it took me a little while to go through and get them. This is a great thing because it applies to other cards I'm getting in too. I got some Thomas Kincaid cards in the other day. Now, those were a little bit different. Those were not all 4x6. There were a couple that were 4x6. Some of them were 4x4, 4x5.5, and I had to adjust those variables according to the size of the card so that it would be accurate. But I'm thinking about this going forward. Now I don't have to stress out over, if I buy a large lot and I get some Continentals in it, because I don't have to say, well, what am I going to do with these things? I can just include them and just do the 4x6 thing, and hopefully that will help me sell more. And it also protects you as well as a seller. Okay, because if anybody comes back and says to you, well, you didn't tell me this was a larger card. They may not know it's called a Continental, but they might say, yeah, I didn't know this was a bigger card. I thought postcards were just all one size. And they may not know, but this also protects you as a seller, because if they say to you, well, you didn't mention anything about it in your listing, you can say, yes, I did. I mentioned the word 4x6 in my title and 4x6 in my item description, and in my personal item descriptions, it's there twice. Okay, because I take the title and I move it down, I copy it, and I put the title as a title header for the item description, and then in the verbiage that I have underneath it, the paragraph I have underneath it, it also mentions that the size is approximately 4x6. And I say approximately because some 4x6s aren't exactly 4x6. They might be 4 1/8 by 6 1/4 or something like that. So I always say approximately 4x6. So like I said, that protects you, and it gives you something to respond back to a buyer. Yes, it was mentioned in the verbiage and, in the title and the description of the listing. And you may have missed it, but it was there. We all run into sellers like that. Sometimes they don't mention things that are important in a listing, and you kind of either get stuck with it, or if you want to challenge them on it, you can. But, for the most part, if it's not a deal breaker, I wouldn't even give it a second thought. But I just wanted to share that with you guys because I was really stressing out over this whole Continental thing. And, I didn't want to give out bad advice. I wanted to make sure that what I was saying was okay. I did get some good comments on my YouTube video about that. And like I said, that helped me get the idea of this whole 4x6 thing. And I went in and changed everything. And now everything's good to go. Okay. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys, and I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, please feel free to smash that like button. It really helps the channel. And I guess that's it for now. I gotta go, but you guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care, and bye for now.